depends how he pulls up this week from his training. And he is running, so maybe one, maybe two. I think sometimes you've got to be cautious. It's his other leg from the other one. So, and we've narrowed it down. We think that we understand the reason why, and we're not going to go into that. But so some players have had a pretty hectic few months, and starting to. This is the time of the year which you've just got to be. You can't look at your win-loss ratio to make calculated decisions. You've still got to make good decisions for your football club, and rest players when you have to. Don't look at the consequences of win or loss. You just got to look at the long term. We're still only a third way through a marathon, and under those circumstances, we'll always look after the player's health first. And if it means he's ready to play, well, he'll play. But if he's not, we'll keep him out. Well, did you watch training? Last week, yeah. Yeah, Gibbs is very, very close. And Andrew, I think it's his day off running today, I think. Yeah, so he would have run yesterday. Yeah. Different programs, yep. No, so he's pretty close as well. Oh, it's a test. It's a test for Jared. I can't answer that. He's very remorseful. He knows he's let the side down on that day, albeit an eagerness to be out for so long and to come into the football side and play his first game. There was always going to be this rash of, or not rashness, but I want to get out there, I want to show my worth, I want to kick goals, I want to help the side, and his methodology wasn't quite right. I mean, he hasn't murdered anyone. He's made a decision, and it would have been split second, and it was the wrong decision, and he's been penalised by it. So there's no dramas. We just move forward, and he wants to move forward, and he wants us to do well, and he's out there hopefully tomorrow kicking goals, what he does best. Not at all. I never find it. The only difficult decision about fines is when I have to pay them. When someone else, we calculate it, and there it is. Where would that talk come from? Surely not the media. Social media? No, all's well. Menzel? Tell you a bit about him. He's the brother of. He's got I think he's the youngest of 4 or 5 boys. So if he's anything like Steele Sidebottom, who was the youngest of 4 or 5 boys, he would have learnt at a very early age that his brothers don't take prisoners in the backyard. They would have belted him, and he would have been the kid that chased the football over the fence and done all that sort of stuff. So he comes from a long line of football people. His brothers all play, not necessarily all at the highest level, but all play. He's a very likeable lad for a start off, and he can play. Believe me, he can play. Oh no, I don't try to get caught up in that sort of stuff. I think everyone's such an individual that it's wrong to then to go and do comparisons. And we've heard it all the way along. And I'm constantly reminded of Delidio. He's another Judd. Well, that's a harsh comment to make at a player who entered his first year thinking that everyone thought he was a Chris Judd. Delidio's a different sort of player than Chris Judd, so we don't get that. So that was my time of thinking, I'm not going to start doing this sort of stuff because it doesn't really gel. Let the player be the player, and if there's a comparison, let the supporters or you guys make that comparison. But certainly in-house, we look at him and think we've got a player that's got some reasonable form. We know his pedigree. We know he can find the footy. I have a suspicion that whatever level he plays at, he'll play better at the next level up, as some players do. But that's yet to be proven. So we won't place too many burdens on him. But I think the kid can play footy, and he'll be given the opportunity. Make no mistake about it, I'm a 3-3 forward line coach. And when that time comes, that will happen. I know it's a long time down the track, and I don't like getting too far ahead of ourselves, but I believe finals football is played with players that can cause maximum damage to the opposition, and there is a dearth of quality backline players nearly in every side. Very few sides can come up with 3 tall backline players who can handle 3 top quality forwards. Now, I'm not saying we've got either that, and we've got to go through the process, clearly. But I have no doubt that Sean in good form, or Levi in good form, and for that matter, even Sam Rowe in good form, that we will manufacture that type of forward line, because I just don't think that you can handle it. When I say that, it puts massive pressure on the opponents. And if they're all in good touch, then one or two will have a day out, because you just simply can't hold three big players if you get enough of the football. And that will be in conjunction with our forwards, our medium-sized forwards. Yeah, he's come through well. Yeah. No, he's okay. He proved it out there. He's proved it all week, really. And he proved it by going back on the ground. It was a great effort, but he went back on the ground. So he's fine. Something did we improve in the second half, because the game, I thought our third quarter last week was quite good. We just didn't score. We allowed again. I think that we're a side this year. We've been beaten by 17 points or 16 points or less, or something like that, up to 5 points. So we've lost 4 games, albeit in an area that we've either been in front or we challenged to be in front. Our biggest concern, I suppose, in those games is we allow too many minutes where we don't impact the scoreboard, and the opposition either do or hold us at bay. What we have to do, and I don't run with this. It's bad luck. You know, if you get beaten, you get beaten. There could be a bad luck incident that causes a goal, that you lose the game. But over the course of 120 minutes, you've generally contributed to either winning or losing yourself. What we have to do to be a better side is to close those gaps up, and that probably was the second quarter of last week. Now, yes, we're down manpower, but we still had 18 on the ground. It's just that we didn't have the rotations, but that's the nature of the game. You know, I'm loath ever to say injuries, because once you start talking injuries, you start to downgrade the players that are on the ground for you. As I said to our boys here this morning, our best 22 players will run down the race tomorrow. So I want every one of those players to think, I'm part of the best side. I'm not going to jump into anyone else's shoes, but I just don't get it when people say, our best side is coming in, we're going to bring our best. Well, what's that? How does that make the player feel? It makes him feel inferior, so he plays inferior. Our best side runs in the race tomorrow. And at quarter time, when those two boys were off, we had another couple of a bit sore. The best side was out there. And that's what makes you play good football, is the reliance on one another. Not, I shouldn't be out here because I'm waiting for Gibbs or Garazzo or Betts or Yaron to come back inside. No, they can't win the game of footy for you. But Menzel can give us a chance, and Bootsman can give us a chance, and those other lads coming in, Keisha and so forth, all those young players coming in, they give you the chance to win the game of footy.
You're offering the goal kicking advice from the 50-metre line.
It's a beauty, isn't it? I've kicked 15 in my whole career, and now I'm giving advice to blokes that have kicked 15 in a game.
When you were passing your advice on us, what was the message?
Kick straight. No, a few more things, but we'll keep that. All the best.